Hi everyone, it's a pretty unique time in the UK right now because we just lost Her Majesty the Queen, who passed away recently. You've probably been following some of those events. It's these sorts of events that open up people to talk about things that normally they wouldn't. And as they're realizing we're leaving, they're daring sort of to go into parts of the conversation that normally they would never talk about. So we've really been taking advantage of a lot of good conversations just in these last few weeks.
Our house sold the beginning of June, theoretically. We accepted an offer. 4 months later, we're still waiting on those details to come through, and that's a huge prayer request.
Because we've been involved with ministry here in Europe for over 3 decades, whether we wanted it or not, we're involved in a lot of different ministry and relational networks. So a big part of our time in these last few weeks will be trying to finish well in those relationships, whether that's actually going to visit some of the people. So we're going to do a short trip to France to see the church in Chalon and the leaders there and the chateau. We're going to have a lot of one-on-one kind of times together with people here locally and even beyond. And so each of those is trying to make sure we don't just cut and run, but that we honor the time and the relationship that we've had with these folks and help them to be, even more dependent on God than us. That's the goal anyways.
And then what happens afterwards, we have booked tickets for 15 December, which is when we will leave for the States. For 4 months, we will, somebody's lending us a house. We will be doing home ministries. We'll continue on with Encompass through July. So please continue to pray for us and support us. We'll stay on salary for then. And then we are looking into possibilities. Perhaps there are other roles that God will lead us into within the Encompass stateside, or there will perhaps he'll lead us somewhere else.
And on a church level, Jason and Crystal are doing a lot to continue with the church. So we've been able to pull back a little bit, as well as Scott and Linda and some of the other local leaders who are taking on an awful lot of responsibility.
Messy church, that's totally handed over. Open the book is 90% there. Craft and Cuppa, there's still some work to be done there.
God doesn't promise us any certainty. He gives clarity about which way to go. And that's where I'm trying to live more and more. And as I think about it, it is that life of faith that he calls us to. We live by faith, not by sight. So that's been kind of convicting in some senses, but also freeing in the sense that I don't have to know, and I can't know sometimes, where things are going, but being able to trust God in the midst of it. And he's shown up in some amazing big ways.